have a hearing problem.
My wife says I do.
Well, doctors,
Well, I don't think I do.
they've done 2 cardiology
Thank you.
tests on me. He said, I'm not hearing a thing. He's right here. He just went.
I think we got along with it.
He said, I've got normal hearing loss in my left ear.
Test.
You'll stand right there. Right side.
Come here.
Pull the car home.
Is this good for you? It's not, because it's good for me. So it's not.
You are the link.
You are the strongest.
I'm good.
Good for you.
I did.
Right here.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm going to be right here.
And that's exactly what it was.
Procedure called a cochlear implant.
Okay, so draw a spot on the floor so you know where to stand.
That should be.
Get the red tape.
Yeah.
The implant in the ear.
Who's that?
Sounds expensive too.
Sure it is.
Tell me why that.
It depends on the sense that they are the government. My biggest decision, William would be the 24/7.
Talking to me about that process,
When I talked to Lou at G-Dog, I'm like, Lou, hey, they're going to build an airport. We're going to build a fence around the rock pile. We got the Millennium property.
It's got to be.
Building structural and decorative detailing, we got to go around the Hopkins track and the Thomas Bennett house and the 25-foot buffer have to be preserved. I'm like, when you add up rock pile, Hopkins, Thomas Bennett, and Lee, how are you going to build an airport? The concept is just going to go around all those artifacts. Good luck with that. I can't. Beyond me, but
lead house is probably good.
they say that they're more stuff in the airport that will improve it. So, instead of halt, it's improved.
There's something else to pay for, yes.
college? Point Break. Yeah. She enjoyed it. Well, that means she's enjoying Well, that's it.
She'll be over there.
Digital number 11.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I got it. Where do you stay? At the Hyatt. Way down in America.
You ready, Truman? You got the plate? You got the invitation?
I got the invitation.
You all set?
How's that go? Yeah. Let's go. We hadn't got them.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome tonight to the regular scheduled meeting of the City of Griffin Board of Commissioners, March 10, 2020. Commissioner Holly Murray will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation by Truman Tinsley III. Please rise.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Most gracious Heavenly Father, we're here today to ask for your blessings and guidance in the performance of our duties as elected officials. We pray for strength, love, knowledge, and understanding. Help us to recognize and solve the problems that are presented. Make our solutions fair and just to the best interest of everyone. Help us to overcome our shortcomings and keep us united as a team to work for the betterment of the people of Spalding County and the City of Griffin. We pray in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. We need to approve the agenda, need to make an amendment. As you can see on your screen, we need to amend it to add item 11, consider memorandum of agreement among the Federal Aviation Administration, Georgia Department of Transportation, City of Griffin, Spalding County, and the Griffin-Spalding Airport Authority, and the State of Georgia Historic Preservation Office.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the agenda with that amendment.
We've got a motion by Ms. Ward. Do we have a second? Second. Ms. Murray with a second. All in favor, signal by raising your hand. 7-0. First item of business is present a proclamation declaring April as Census Month 2020. As most are aware, the census is coming up April 1st, so I'd like to give this to Mr. Patrick Kay, who is leading, one of the representatives leading the team to make sure we get accurate counts. So, Mr. Kay.
Hand me an agenda, Patrick.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Choppy.
Next item is to recognize Bradley Durden, GIS Technician, Stormwater Division, as the Strongest Link Award recipient. Dr. Brant Keller, Public Works Director, will address. Good evening, sir.
Evening. Look, I'm not even bringing paper to this podium tonight to read off of. I'm excited. I'm off my meds today. But in the last year, I've had the opportunity to address two people that started as interns in the city of Griffin. Bradley's been with us since 2015. He's GPS sewer. He's he's been in the field trucking through everything, helping out doing water quality testing, what have you. And last year, 2 years ago almost, when Jeff Stanley left, we put him in as provisional in the GIS department. He's currently getting a double bachelor's degree in GIS and in some type of IT technology, okay? It was cyber a year ago, but I think he's changed that from that. Bradley doesn't say a whole lot. He smiles, comes in, does what he's got to do. He always knows that when Tommy Jones comes around, we're GPSing something for Tommy for an invert or what have you. Well, Tommy's leaving, so somebody's going to have to take his place. But Bradley is It's just great to bring somebody up, and having been a previous school teacher and a college professor, it's nice to be able to mentor somebody to the elevation that Bradley's achieved. So at the end of the day, I got the plaque, and Bradley is your link. And he truly is the link tonight. He actually gets to hold that. Awesome. But I just wanted to say thanks to him and his due diligence. He has to study hard. School's not easy in the IT world, as y'all know. And just want to say that I'm really proud that this is the second person that we've brought up through the ranks to grow people to come to work for our city. So Bradley Durden right there.
Now you got a smile there. Peanut butter and cucumbers.
Bradley, I think you've got a few special guests here. Would you like to introduce them?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, this here is my stepfather, my mother, and my grandfather. They've come to support me tonight and in this amazing honor, and I am very happy to be working here with everyone. This whole group, this whole community is great, and it's a great place to work. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Durden. Congratulations.
Now at Moore Elementary, if you brought your grandparents, you got free ice cream
Free ice cream?
the next day.
Free ice cream for everybody.
If your grandparents come. Whenever your grandparents show up, you get free ice cream.
New tradition. Everyone's going to bring their grandparents. Item 3, review financial reports for January 2020. Financial Director Marcus Schwab will address. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Commissioners. As usual, we'll run through the cash balance report. Any questions? None?
The lost revenue looks unbelievable.
Okay, very good. Any other questions about that? Okay.
That was a mistake. Everything's looking good.
Questions on the SPLOST collections? Nothing? Okay. Interim statements by fund? Okay.
Everything's in order.
Thank you.
Good job. Thank you, sir.
Good
All
job.
right.
We're moving into citizen comments. At this time, the mayor opens the floors to comments from the audience. Comments should be related to specific agenda items not listed on the agenda for the public hearing or to the concern of the jurisdiction of the city. Commission meetings serve the purpose of conducting city business and are not a forum for the unlimited expression of opinion. The mayor reserves the right to limit comments to matters germane to city business and may refer speakers to the city manager or other staff for resolution. With that being said, is there anybody on my left side that'd like to come before the commission? Is there anybody on my right side? Moving on. There are no public hearings. First item of business is the consent agenda. I think we need to take each of those separately because first one is the workshop and all were present for that. Do we have a motion to approve the
Make a
minutes?
motion.
Mr. McCord with a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Ms. Ward with a second. All in favor of the workshop minutes, please raise your hand. 7-0. And then the commission meeting, Mr. McCord was absent. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes of the regular scheduled meeting on February 25?
I'll make a motion.
Mrs. Murray with a motion.
Second.
Ms. Ward with a second. All in favor, signal by raising your hand. 6-0-1 with Mr. McCord abstaining. Moving into the regular business. Item 5 is consider a custodial agent fee agreement to Branch Banking and Trust and authorize the mayor and the secretary to execute the same. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Mr. McCord with a motion. Do we have a second? Second. Mr. Tinsley with a second. All in favor, signal by raising their hand. 7-0. Item 6 is consider Griffin Power's updated policy and procedures manual. Electric Director Jennifer Freeman is available if we have any questions.
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. McCord.
Second.
Second by Ms. Ward. All in favor, signal by raising your hand. 7-0. Item 7 is consider contract with Three Rivers Regional Commission for regional transit services for remaining half of fiscal year 2020. We have a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Ms. Ward with a motion. Do we have a second? Mr. Tinsley with a second. All in favor, signal by raising your hand. 7-0. Item 8 is rescind appointment of member William Dukes to Planning and Zoning Board, District 2 by Commissioner Flowers.
Yes,
Do we need to do anything on that?
Well, until she's ready to make a new appointment.
So I mean, like, is there any verbiage or it's just rescinded?
You're just rescinding, he's your appointment, so
Okay.
you're just
Okay, so
rescinding
she's
him as
rescinding
the
his
appointment
appointment.
officially and notifying the commission.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Moving to item 9, remove from the table and appoint member of the City Board of Ethics for District 2, Commissioner Flowers' appointment per code of Griffin, Georgia at Chapter 2.
Yes. Rosalind Payne Hill.
Rosalind Payne.
And then I'll give contact information after the meeting. I'll give contact. It's okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Flowers. Moving to item 10, consider claims for...
Hold on one second.
Yes.
Oh, do we need a motion to take it from the table?
We can do that. Go ahead.
The motion to remove from the table the appointment.
I'm making a motion.
Mr. McCord with a motion. Do we have a second? Ms. Ward
Second.
with a second. All in favor? 7-0. And then appointment of Rosalind Payne, bill to the board.
Correct.
Thank you. Item 10, consider claims for personal injury by Daniel Landrum and Susan Hokum arising from motor vehicle collision with city vehicle operated by the Griffin police officer on February 7, 2020.
I'll make a motion to deny the claim.
Mrs. Murray with a motion to deny. Do we have a second?
Second.
Ms. Ward with a second. All in favor of denial, please raise your hand. All against, like sign. 6-1 with Mr. McCord against. And then item 11, consider memorandum of agreement among the Federal Aviation Administration, Georgia Department of Transportation, City of Griffin, Spalding County, Griffin Spalding Airport Authority, and the State of Georgia Historic Preservation Officer regarding the effects of the new airport construction and potential historic properties. Mr. Smith, can you give us a...
Yes, sir. This is an agreement that just came in this afternoon that the Airport Authority wished for us to put some expediency to. The airport will not move forward until this is approved by us, the county, the Airport Authority. GDOT won't approve it until we do, and the FAA won't approve it until we all do. There are some potential environmental issues. There's a rock pile that they say conceivably could be an Indian burial ground. There's a couple of historic properties that they would like for us to agree not to disturb until we have further environmental consultation on them. So this is just an agreement so the airport can move forward with this property.
Okay, I'll make a motion. Okay. Second.
Mr. Tinsley with a motion, Mrs. Murray with a second. All in favor, signal by raise your hand. 7-0. And that concludes the agenda for this evening. Mr. Smith?
Yes, sir. It's my pleasure to announce that about an hour and a half ago, Mr. Gib Cotton was appointed as our new Chief Technology Officer for the City of Griffin. After an extensive interview process with some extremely qualified candidates, Mr. Cotton was promoted from within, so we're excited to have him in that position. The Archway professional job has been posted. If you know of anyone that may be interested in that job, the qualifications and the application information is posted on the UGA website. So we're looking forward to getting that position filled. A reminder that the I-75 corridor meeting is tomorrow at Historic City Hall. We're hosting that meeting here in Griffin for that group at Historic City Hall at 10 o'clock. Reminder that Chief Jones' retirement celebration will be Friday from 2 to 4, also at Historic City Hall. And of course, the big thing in the news, the coronavirus. We have been dependent on our emergency management folks, our Department of Public Health folks to keep us updated on measures that we may need to take. We're being careful with our employees, putting out information as to how they can be careful and urging them not to come to work if they feel sick. On Monday night at the county commission meeting, the EMA and a couple of doctors from public health will be there with a presentation. So if you're interested in that, if you want to go to the county commission meeting on Monday to hear that information. And I believe that covers my comment.
I have to.
Yes, sir, Mr. McCord.
As you all know, tonight I was supposed to be out at Brightmoor to host the Miss Brightmoor pageant, but because of what Mr. Smith said, the coronavirus that has been in the news and closed down Fulton County schools today, just use common sense, and they're saying not have these large gatherings. So thank you all for not having too many people here tonight. I got to say this. I'm just so extremely proud of the team that I work with, and especially our staff for having a great presentation this morning when we had our city-county meeting. I did not receive any new information coming from our city staff. It's the same thing. It was a consistent story, consistent facts that they've been telling us since we started this process. Nothing changed. No one was hit with any surprises. And for the most part, I felt that the meeting was productive in as such that they got to hear some of the facts, to hear the county manager say that his board has not heard the things that we were talking about, and they are supposed to be making decisions on this, was a bit disheartening. So I want to say kudos to City of Griffin staff, Ms. O'Connor, Mr. Smith, and all others who participated in compiling all of that information to make sure that we are getting the proper information to take back to the citizens of our community. Once again, I'm still on board, and it seems like we're going to all have to be on board if we want a swimming pool in our community for the public, that we're going to have to keep the pool open. The comments that were made, and all of you were here, so when they said they're going to wait in 2 years, maybe they can take over the pool or open the pool, which says to me that they're not interested in taking over our pool, the city's pool. And it was just an eye-opener this morning. And there were some things said, and Ms. Ward, I don't want her to say anything about it, but there were some things said that I just think people need to kind of think before they open their mouth. But that's all I have. Thank you guys. We did a great job. Thanks.
Ms. Murray.
Thank you everyone for coming. Congratulations, Mr. Cotton. I remember when you started your career here. We were both just children, and it's always exciting to see when you work together with someone and you see the hard work and the loyalty that you have, especially in your field. It's so easy to go work with private sector, and I just feel like there's there's more value than meets the eye for what you do here, and you are more than, I guess, qualified, overqualified really, but thank you for your years of service and agreeing to stay with us, and congratulations on your new position. I appreciate you very much. And also I want to say, with all of the weather and everything, Dr. Keller, your staff, especially in the district, we've had issues with manholes with water entering in storm drains, and it's a thankless job for most all of the employees here with the city, but our district, they see your guys out and responding to those calls and phone calls coming in, the way you all explain and get back with the citizens, and then I hear, and it just makes me really proud of all of you, and Mr. Smith, you too, and everyone. So it's really challenging during those specific times, and it's hopefully we'll get a break in some of the weather. But thanks again, Jessica, for you too. So everyone, that it's been a rough month, so appreciate it. And anyway, I'm done. Thank you.
Ms. Flowers.
Just want to echo what Commissioner McCord said. Very appreciative of the effort and work that went into the meeting this morning. I know it took a lot longer than I thought it would take when I said I thought it was a good idea, but I'm very grateful for it, and I appreciate you guys for doing that work.
Mr. Brock.
We got a ways to go, folks, but we're going to get it done. I feel good about the staff. I feel good about this board. And I think we've got a job ahead of us, but I think we got a head start on it this morning. We're at least recognizing there is some differences between the Spalding County Board and the City of Griffin, right or wrong and different. But until we get together and can make it one united effort, then we're going to have problems. But I think if we can eliminate those in the next, I won't say month, I won't say 2 months, I'll say 6 months or so. So thank you for everything that everybody's doing in this community.
Mr. Tinsley?
I'd like to congratulate Gibb as well on his promotion. I'm sure he'll do an outstanding job. And Tommy, you're going to be missed, buddy. But you're my neighbor, so I get to see you anyhow. So thanks for all the work that you've done. Is that going away ceremony Friday? Is that catered? I mean, I'm trying to figure out how to do it. Thank you, Tommy.
Ms. Ward?
I too would like to congratulate Gibb for his promotion.
That's good. That's good.
Okay. I'm not going to go crazy. Rodney said, he pretty much said it all. But the main thing I wanted to say is that I am so glad that I got y'all as fellow commissioners. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you all.
Got your back.
Because, as Rodney said, there was nothing, we heard nothing different than what we've been hearing all the time. And it lets me know that how you all keep us briefed on what's going on, so we're not blindsided. And I wanted to correct probably one thing that Mr. Wilson did say this morning. He was saying that he and Doug had been here the longest. No way.
There it is right there.
And I'm not saying in the commission seat. I've been in Griffin all my life. And I'm not going to tell you how many years that been. But it's been a long time. I think Drew probably the only senior. Mr. Brock, you been in Griffin all your life? Have you been in Griffin all your life?
I have, yes, 76 years.
Okay.
They got me by a few.
Yeah, so we have seen a lot of stuff. So that means that we know a lot of stuff. So, but anyway, I'm done.
Thank you. Mr. Cotton, cannot think of a better choice in your position. Congratulations, and look forward to working with you. We've got a lot to do and a lot to accomplish in the next few years, and I know you're the leader to bring us to that next level, so thank you. To this coming Dinner on the Bridge, the Downtown Council's major fundraiser of the year. Tables are on sale right now for the first couple weeks on Eventbrite, so if you're interested in doing that, I believe that's the end of April. And the great times, 320 tickets on sale for that. Tommy Jones, I'm going to miss you. Watch you grow up, or you watch me grow up. You were like a mentor of me, but I'm proud of you and look forward to, I'm glad I get to see you every week at church in the future, but you've done a great job, and God bless you for what you've done for our community. This past week, we buried Mr. Dick Mullins was buried. He was a former city commissioner. He was mayor in '79. He was my first basketball coach who taught me what wind sprints were. Just a great man, but what I read in his obituary was that he was the tiebreaker in terms of getting Raymond, the first African-American person elected as chairman of the board, and he broke the tie to allow Raymond Head to be the mayor in 1980. So he was able to go beyond and see outside the box of what was for the greater good of the community. So to keep the Mullins family in the prayers and think about Dick. And Dick was your partner for many years, and
almost 30 years.
So I mean, he was an institution in this community, just a good man that liked to give back to everybody. With that being said, do we have a motion to close?
Motion to adjourn.
Mr. Tensing with a motion.
Second.
Mr. McCord with a second. All in favor? Rise. Thank you all for being here.
Right.
Have fun.
I'll email y'all.